Are you using the changing seasons? Hello, Marketing for Owners, the podcast with me, John Butt, your host. It's always me. What did you think of Andy yesterday? Nice, eh? Told you it'd be good. Oh, have you not listened? Okay, go to this website, or our website, marketingforowners.com/podcast/423. Because episode 423, in fact, you'll find all the others. If you just go to /podcast without the number on the end, you'll find all the episodes in order. And you can read the full transcript. For these episodes, you can see the full video. If you listen on iTunes, you might not even realise it's a video. You can see what I look like. Don't be scared. I do look like this in real life. But you can catch the video, you can catch on the Wednesday, we have what I call our award-winning show notes. All of the guests point out that we have the best show notes of any podcast online. And I am not kidding. Go and have a look. It's not just what he said transcribed. In all the other ones it is, but on the Wednesday expert interview, we actually write up the lessons that are helpful for you. Honestly, it's pretty good. Anyway, what was I going on about? Oh yes, seasons. Okay, so we're in the summer right now. We're in July. It's a lovely month. I'm telling you we're in the summer because if you can see sky in the background, this is England. It doesn't look like we're in the summer. I am in the garden. I am in a t-shirt, but it's still a bit nippy, and I wish I was wearing a jumper or sweater, as my lovely friends in North America love to call them. So the seasons. So seasons, winter, summer, autumn, fall, etc. It's spring. Yeah, I know the other one. Marketing for me is really getting in front of people, getting your message across to people. And for that, you need to have pretty much any excuse to speak to somebody. And by speaking, that can be face-to-face, that can be by video, that can be by audio, like a podcast, it could be via email, it could be via handwritten letter, it could be via a typed letter, it could be via a card, a handwritten card, it could be via a text. You may be using WhatsApp groups, you may be using Snapchat, anything like that. No matter what, the more that you communicate with your potential audience, the more they'll get to like you, the more they'll get to know you, and the more they are likely to trust you, as long as you're not banging on with offers all the time. So, in your business, are you using the seasons? For example, when it comes up to winter, most businesses of any type will have something different that needs to be done in the winter. So tell people about it. And you're going to think, well, it happens every year. They know. Just assume they don't. Look, I live in the UK. Every single year, if it snows, it's like a complete and utter shock to us, as if it's never snowed before. If we have a really big snow dump, it's like a shock, as if it's never happened before. It's all over the news. In America, tornadoes, for those that happen at the same time every year, for those that live outside, we think, why would you live there? You're gonna be destroyed by a tornado. But it happens every year, and it's still on the news, and people still warn people about it. These things just need to be talked about. There's always someone who's interested. So don't assume anything. And now, in your particular business, there may not be anything that needs to be changed. For instance, you may be a letting manager, so you manage rentals and lettings of properties and so on. There's nothing different for you. However, what about your landlords? What about your tenants? Yeah, think slightly wider. So for instance, the time of the year when they need to think about getting a plumber in to check their heating system before every single other person calls a plumber. So don't get them to wait till October. Tell them to do it in September, when plumbers don't quite have anything to do yet. In October, they're going to be working their socks off and queuing up and charging full price. Think about what changes for Christmas in some businesses. Think about what changes New Year, then you've got Valentine's Day, you've got people's birthdays in Fire Protection Online. Every year, my birthday is August the 23rd, if you're wondering. If you wish to send presents and gifts, just look on the Fire Protection Online website, bottom of every page there's an address there. You can send them there. Make sure they're not too big, make sure they will fit in my car when I go and take them home. Thank you very much. But it's August the 23rd, so on that day, my marketing team will usually send out a good discount voucher that's valid for 24 hours because it's the boss's birthday. I have nothing to do with that, but they do that every year. There will be things that they can talk about coming up to the summer. There will be, such as for people go on holiday, on vacation around Europe, and they may take the car across on the ferry or on the tunnel. So they need to know, what are the regulations for driving overseas? What's that to do with fire protection? Well, one of the things they may want to consider is taking a little fire extinguisher, or the fact that we sell some of the other bits. We actually do sell the kits entirely, but we can advise. Why not? It's an excuse. Why wouldn't we tell them? We want to communicate. We want to seem helpful. We want our customers think we're wonderful, we're a resource. You can do that as well. In the spring, people who are in campsites or anything to do with marinas, they suddenly start to open up. Everything that's been frozen up over the winter. Spring is when people start to go on holiday again, start using their boats, they start using their caravans or their RVs and things like that. And then at the end of the summer, they start to pack things away. So think in your business or in a related business how you can communicate in the seasons. Now, once you get that, you can plan ahead, because this is why I'm talking about this one. This may come as no surprise to many of you, but it will be the summer next year as well at the same time. And so that means in January, if you do all your planning in January for the year, you can design an editorial calendar like magazines have. Because did you know magazines know in advance what they're going to talk about at certain times of the year, and they can then contact their advertisers to say, in the winter or in the autumn or in the fall of this year, October, we will be talking about this, and you can be pleased to, if you've got products that are related, please advertise them then. Yes, I know you and down in the southern hemisphere it's all back to front, but you know when your autumn is. So think ahead, plan ahead, and then it's not hand to mouth and you're not running around for things of ideas of what to do. And a lot of these seasonal tips, a lot of these things you can talk to people about, you can talk to them in exactly the same way next year. Now you might think, I can't say the same thing, but hey, look at Cosmopolitan magazine. Every single month on the front cover there will be so many sex tips and things like that. There will be a star and something. Look at the front covers of Cosmopolitan magazine. They're the same every single month pretty much. They repeat it every month. I'm sure you can repeat it every year. If you think that many people are reading and taking every word you say to heart, that's fantastic. But honestly, repeat, repeat, repeat. Successful stuff works. That's why the news always talks about the weather stuff in America. They also, unfortunately, they always talk about gun crime stuff, and they always talk about celebrity stuff, because that's what sells. Find what sells, find the seasons, and just go on about it every year. That's half your content done. Anyway, I'm sure you got the gist. So it is a Thursday, and that means we have a drive time podcast. I like a little drive time podcast, and it's about time we had some ladies on the show. So today we're featuring a couple of ladies for the Being Boss podcast. Now, I enjoyed this. It's Emily Thompson and Kathleen Shannon, Kathleen with a K. Don't worry, by the way, all the links will be in our show notes. I mentioned, go to marketing.com/podcast/424 for this episode. They'll all be there. They have a website, but they have two types of show, and they seem to alternate them. They have a chat one, sometimes they interview, sometimes they chat with themselves. The one I was listening to recently was talking about they have their own method for getting things done called the chalkboard method. but they have a good rapport. They don't sound forced, they sound like genuinely good friends. They have a smooth style, very easy listening to. And the opposite, the other ones they have are mini-sodes, do they call them, like episodes, which are really little short ones, which are sort of 8 minutes. The longer ones, 30, 40 minutes. The short ones, 5 to 8 minutes, something like that. But it's well worth a look. If you can't find it, just go to iTunes and just put in Being Boss, or just go to Google on any device and go to just enter Being Boss Podcast. Trust me, Google's dead smart. It will find it for you and get to it. Better still, just go to our website and find it there. Okay? I'm going to be back tomorrow with a weekend challenge for you.